Northwestern in Indiana. The Wildcats fresh off the big win over the Fighting Illini of Illinois on Wednesday night. Tom Hamilton and Bob Ford are courtside in Assembly Hall in Bloomington. Enjoy the first half. Sean and I'll see you back here at halftime. Tom?
Thank you very much, Mike and Sean, and welcome to Assembly Hall on a rainy, cold day here in Bloomington, Indiana. The surprising Northwestern Wildcats tied for the top spot, and that lineup for Northwestern very seldom changes, although they will be without Vedran Vukusic. He'll be out the next 2 games with a knee injury. Indiana still searching for that right combination, Bob.
Trying to find the guys that work together well on the court. And, you know, Bracy Wright, he is the key in that matchup because, I mean, this guy can play the basketball game. Shoots the ball, takes it to the bucket, can rebound, can dish, but he's got to have some support. So who's going to come up and support him? It was Strickland on Saturday at Michigan, so we'll see what happens here today.
Well, and Jatim Young has had such a tremendous and under-publicized career in Evanston. This kid is one of the top players in the Big Ten.
He's such a hard worker on the court. I mean, he really gives it his all. Can knock down the 3, dishes the ball, does everything that the coach asks him to do. And, you know, that's the kind of guy that you'd like to have out there. A guy that's really going to get down in the trenches and do it for you.
And when Northwestern has the basketball, they use that shot clock almost the full 35 seconds worth. Very deliberate, very patient, and very frustrating to play against, Bob.
They really make your defense work hard.
Scott the miss, and the rebound yanked out of there by the guard Donald Perry. This is Leach back playing after missing 9 games, and that's a big asset getting him.
It's a giant start for Leach to come in and hit that first hook shot over the top there. I mean, Indiana's going to go inside. There's no question about that. Northwestern, short people. If they can get them into foul trouble, this game's not going to last long.
Northwestern is now down to 7 scholarship players. Long shot for Parker. Missed the 3. Scott the rebound, lost it. And so Bill Carmody's Northwestern Wildcats down 2-0, but a huge win over Illinois on Wednesday. Former Princeton coach getting it done now in Evanston, and he's got a good crop coming next year as well, as that system now really in place at Northwestern.
Wildcats using the zone, which is good for them, especially with, you know, their shortness of players. They've got to do some things that keeps them out of foul trouble. If they can force Indiana to take that 3-pointer, which they have not shot very well this year, that would be in their favor.
Indiana hasn't shot well, period, all season long. The worst shooting team in the Big Ten. Down low, Scott. Blocked by Leach. He had 4 blocks Sunday. He had missed 9 games with a knee injury. Leach came back Sunday with 4 blocks and a big one right there.
Defensively, he adds so much to your club. And you play tough defense. You can take some chances on the outside. When you got a guy back inside, it's going to reject the basketball.
2-0 Indiana, as we have played close to 2 minutes here at Assembly Hall. This is Bracy Wright for 3, missing, and strong rebound that time by Duancic. This Northwestern team has an international flavor. 3 players from Croatia, 1 from Casablanca, Morocco, another from Paris. Long 3 taken by T.J. Parker. He is the native of Paris. His brother is one of the top point guards in the NBA with the San Antonio Spurs.
Both of these teams are pretty happy with shooting the ball from the outside. After that first possession by Indiana, they went inside, but everything else has been long range.
Perry missed, got the rebound. Bracy Wright bumped by Duancic, and Duancic cannot afford to get into foul trouble. Mike Davis, in his 4th year at Indiana, taking his team to within 1 win of a national championship a couple of years ago. And while his club has scuffled this season, part of that is due to the schedule. Indiana has really played a rugged schedule. And Coach Davis feels maybe now they have some momentum after a big road win Sunday in Ann Arbor against a very talented Michigan team. Game tied at 2. We've played 3 minutes. Bracy Wright for 3. Got it.
Well, it appears that outside shooting is going to be the name of the game here. I mean, Northwestern putting a lot of people around Leach now after that first initial play where they got the ball down inside. So the 3-pointer is all that's a matter of who gets hot.
Yep. Young, great fake. Inside the arc, Jatim Young with a miss. Rebound, Strickland. Indiana doing a good job of the boards here in the early going, and they're the worst rebounding team in the Big Ten. Well, Bob, how about the Pontiac keys to the game? What do you think today?
Well, I think it's important for Northwestern to keep this game half court. They want to stay within what they do, especially with their people being a little short. They've got to hit the backboard. They've been out-rebounded 7 rebounds a ball game. I mean, that's really key for them. For Indiana, they've got to shoot the basketball pretty well. I mean, that's important for them. And they got to get it inside. Then we saw it earlier when they went to Leach, they got an easy bucket, but they haven't been able to get it back down there.
Indiana coach Mike Davis preached yesterday in practice, pound the ball inside, but there's another long 3 by Strickland. Good rebound by the freshman, Vince Scott, out of Phoenix, Arizona. That's
key for Northwestern, not to give Indiana second opportunities, especially with Leach back in the lineup. He is powerful inside.
Parker, nice move by Parker, and he scores. 5-4 Indiana. 15:47 left in the half.
What that offense does to you, he followed the cutter perfectly right down the lane. His defender went to sleep just for a moment. He got a shoulder by him. Easy bucket.
Northwestern showing a little trap there. Inside Leach, triple team, but a great dish to Moyer.
You can see the worry that Northwestern has about the ball going inside to Leach. There were 3 purple jerseys around him, left the other side wide open. Great move.
7-4 Hoosiers, as we have played close to 5 minutes here in Bloomington. This is Parker. Scott, the freshman. Northwestern, 9th in the Big Ten in offense. Indiana dead last. So 2 teams both struggling with the basketball this season. 5 on the shot clock. Parker, tough shot. Over Leach, short. Rebound, George Leach. Gracie Wright had it poked away. Gracie Wright comes back down with it. Indiana's ball with 25 on the shot clock. The lob to Leach. Blocked inside by the freshman Scott. That doesn't happen often to Leach.
He didn't quite get his feet under him like he wanted to, and couldn't get any lift off of it. Scott was right there, but game long, that's going to be a problem for Scott because he is slight built.
Inside on the drive, the foul goes against Northwestern. Are you a little surprised at the quickness of some of the Northwestern shots, Bob?
I thought they were coming quick. They've got to get into their offense. That's what makes them good.
So we have our first timeout. Indiana with the ball. Hoosiers up by 3.
Nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance. For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on. Get up! Come on! Get up! Come on! Get up!
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new powered Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Today's ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big Ten Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing. Pontiac, fuel for the soul. And by Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. Advance Auto Parts.
14-15 left first half. Indiana on top 7-4. Glad you could join us from Bloomington. With Bob Ford, I'm Tom Hamilton. Indiana Hoosier coach Mike Davis knows this is a game his club has to win. His concern, Bob, was how much intensity would the players bring today.
That's a key in any ball game, and certainly now for the Hoosiers because of where they are in their schedule. But I think they've seen some good play early. They've gotten the ball inside to Leach a couple of times, and defensively he adds a lot because he can knock the ball away if anybody gets loose.
So George Leach back in there, 5th on the all-time Indiana block list. He recorded number 160 moments ago. 4-entry pass. Northwestern picks it off. Wildcats into the front court. Parker pulls it back out. Again, remember, Vedran Vukusic is out for a couple of games with a knee injury. Is down inside an Indiana foul. And in Vukusic, a guy that averages 15 points a game, he's another one of those European players that can kind of do everything.
He's a really fine player. You take 14, 15 points out of a lineup that's only scoring 68.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't have a lot of people on the bench who are scoring a lot of points. That means some folks have really got to step up.
Like this guy, Duwancic, in and out, came back out. Here comes Indiana, Strickland with a rebound. Northwestern not getting any second chance opportunities here in the first half. Hoosiers up 7-4. Meanwhile, Indiana, a club that, as we talked about in the open, needs more than just Gracie Wright to win in the Big Ten. This guy, Strickland, had a good game Sunday in Ann Arbor.
This is not a league anymore, Tom, that you can just come out with one guy and deal with what you're going to be up against. You've got to have 4 or 5 guys and 2 or 3 off the bench.
Parker the other way in transition, short. And here comes Moye. 3-on-2. This is Wright. Fading, missing. And a foul inside. Duwancic has just picked up his second personal foul. And that's a critical foul.
That is just giant when he gets in trouble there. You know, you see what's missing. Vukusic is a good scorer on the inside, you know, great shooter, good rebounder. You take him out of the ballgame. Yeah. 35 minutes has got to be made up by somebody.
Boy, and now Duwancic, who had 22 points in the win against Illinois, 17 in the second half after Vukusic was hurt, is now on the bench with 2 personal fouls.
I think you'll see Northwestern really slow down the pace. They've been playing, I think, more like they play in Evanston. They'll get out and run with you a little bit in Evanston, but they won't do that on the road. But they've been very up and down. Parker taking some really quick shots.
10 on the shot clock. Strickland, not a high percentage shot. Tolich lost it out of bounds. Indiana wanted to attack inside. Really haven't been able to, Bob.
They have not gotten the ball to the inside. The big guys are working down low, but I think the guards are just in a little bit too big a hurry to get that ball up to the bucket.
Lob inside, Leach with a little hook. More of a jump hook than anything. And Leach has 4, 9-4. Indiana with its biggest lead as we near the 12-minute mark. This is Tolich, another from Croatia. Tolich with the ball at the high post. Young hasn't scored yet. He's been Northwestern's best player at 18 points a game.
Seen a little bit more patience now out of Northwestern. They've had a couple of opportunities at threes, but they did not take them.
And this is a team, as Young takes a 3, rims it. 35% of Northwestern's points come from behind the arc. Leach wide open.
Nice job by Leach to run the court, found the middle wide open, and that's going to bring a little reaction from Northwestern as all of a sudden this game's beginning to get out of control from their perspective.
Now Northwestern trailed by 9 at halftime Wednesday, but that was at home when they rallied to beat Illinois. Indiana here in Assembly Hall has never lost to Northwestern.
And with plays like that, it's not likely that they will lose. They're really doing a nice job right now. And of course, you mentioned a moment ago, Duwancic goes to the bench with his second personal foul. Now they're down to using people that don't play a lot. There you see Tolich did not get back defensively. He's not nearly as quick. And that could be something that Leach could go after here as they move through the ball game.
You know, those numbers right there, they don't knock your socks off what he did in Ann Arbor, but he is an inside presence, Bob, that Indiana doesn't have without him.
The number that was most important there was the 4 blocks.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off of your defense on the outside. You can take some chances, knock the ball away, because you know you got the big guy back there to support you.
Indiana, in essence, Bob, plays with 4 guards and George Leach. Nobody else is taller than 6'4". That's Hashad with a big triple. So Mohammed Hashad gives Northwestern a much-needed triple as the Wildcats have really struggled with their shot, hitting 25% here in the early going. So we've got a timeout here in Bloomington. 11:02 left in it. Indiana by 4.
Get in the zone. I'm Jesse James. The way I see it, a car is not just a way to get from point A to point B. It is the point. That's where the pros at AutoZone can help. They've got the stuff you need to keep your car running right and make it as cool as you want. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
It's tax time, and that makes it the best time to buy at Expressway Dodge. Over 1,000 vehicles in stock, and they've got to go before inventory tax time. New 2004 Ram 1500s as low as $13,990. Just $13,990. New Ram Quad Cab starting at $17,990. We're slashing prices to save you money. Nobody sells Dodge trucks for less than Expressway Dodge. Nobody.
At the Sirloin Stockade, you can have it all. Get USDA choice sirloin grilled to perfection just the way you want it. Enjoy the finest quality roast beef and melt in your mouth turkey. The finest ham and succulent barbecue pork ribs. Our buffet is prepared fresh daily from our very own home recipes. Our salad bar has everything you could want, and you'll love the fresh home-baked goodies from our bakery. Our friendly staff is here to serve you, and we offer banquet facilities, catering, and carry-out. So come on in to the locally owned and operated Sirloin Stockade today.
Today over Minnesota. That log jam is not getting any less congested, Bob.
No, it's going to be like that, I think, all year long. The teams are relatively even. If you can steal a couple of road wins, you're going to be right in the chase towards the end of the year. The Big Ten teams talk about. It's going to be a fun race.
And a steal, potentially. Not quite. Well, that's why Indiana can't afford to lose at home today against Northwestern. Even though it's early, it can get late in a hurry if you're thinking Big Ten championship. 12 on the shot clock. And now Indiana starts to make its move. Strickland penetrated. Heck of a drive by Strickland.
They got the zone spread out so that there was a lane, and Strickland found it, got right down the middle. Tim did a nice job out front, forcing people to go side to side, but they opened up just for a moment. Indiana took advantage.
Well, without that Hashad triple, Northwestern has gone almost 5 minutes without a field goal. 13-7 Indiana as we are halfway through the first half. Dangerous pass. This is Hashad on the... So Hashad now with 5.
Did a nice job of changing direction so that he did not get the charging foul.
And Hashad almost picked that pass off. By the way, today's officials, Phil Bova, Paul Jansen, Lamont Simpson, as you get a good look at Mohammed Hashad, born in Casablanca, Morocco. Then spent a couple of years in Montreal. And now matriculating at Northwestern. This Northwestern club, they start all talking their native tongue, and good luck.
Well, you know what? I think that makes it fun for the guys to get the
shot was missed there by Romont. Still Indiana basketball.
Northwestern has pulled their zone way out front. The 1-3-1 kind of matching up. They're trying to keep that side-to-side pass, forcing Indiana one way or another. And when the Hoosiers find the lane on Northwestern, it really creates some problems for them.
This is Strickland, almost an air ball. Run down by Hashad. So Northwestern, they may have weathered the storm here, Bob. They looked like they were in danger of being run out of Assembly Hall. Now down 4 with 9:15 left.
Well, they've slowed the game down some. Tempo is more in their favor right now. They're taking time on their offensive end, and Indiana is getting impatient on the other end with the change in the defense.
One thing Northwestern does, they can make you so impatient. Seacat for 3. A little strong and over the top. As today's game is brought to you by 7-Up, and your local 7-Up bottler makes 7-Up yours. Northwestern is frustrating, Bob, in that they force you to play defense for 35 seconds. Then you get the ball, and you're in a hurry to take a shot, and it's a bad shot, and the next thing you know, you're back on defense.
That's exactly right, and most players don't like defense. There's 1 or 2 of them around the country that will, say, yeah, I love defense, but not many. They'd much rather play offense, and you've got to be patient when you play against Northwestern, both defensively and offensively. Otherwise, they'll burn you.
Yep. 7 on the shot clock. This is Strickland. Tough shot. Short on it. Strong rebound by Tolic. Another from Croatia. Ivan Tolic with that rebound.
Northwestern doing a good job of limiting Indiana to only 1 shot. That's a key for them. I mean, they cannot allow Indiana to go inside and just start playing volleyball up on the backboard.
Parker for 3. Boy, that was a long 3, and it's going to be Northwestern's basketball, much to the dismay of the fans clad in their crimson sweaters and t-shirts. Good look at him. Unhappy Mike Davis. This is Young. He still hasn't scored. Finds Hashad for 3. No. Rebound Tolic. A rare offensive rebound for the Wildcats. They're the worst rebounding team in the Big Ten. Indiana, the 2nd worst rebounding team in the Big Ten. Parker penetrating. Parker, good look. A shot passed it up. This is Parker for 3. Oh, it's just not there today. Hashad, the rebound, and scores.
Nice job by Hashad inside. He just hung around, finally got a rebound. He's the one that seems to have the most energy right now for Northwestern. He's really pumped up trying to get his teammates to come along.
His 7 points, that's his per-game average. 7:14 left in the first half. Mohamed Hashad with 7 points has lit a fire. Northwestern down 2.
What are you holding now?
A 6-pack.
A 6-pack? Brilliant! What's it do?
Well, I figured out how to carry 6 beers at the same time.
Carry 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant! Let's drink them.
You know, I've been thinking, it might not be the smartest idea to drink 6 beers at the same time.
Don't drink 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Drink Guinness draft straight from the bottle, and always enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produced higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Update from the ACC, Duke and Wake Forest. The Blue Devils trying to open up some room now as they start the transition game. Deng on the rebound, takes it up, finds Ewing, and they're running, but they still rely on that outside shot of J.J. Redick. He has 16, 3 of 6 from three-point territory. Duke already with 4 in double figures. Duke on top, 55-47. Let's go back to Bloomington with Tom and Bob.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Well, Skip Prosser has certainly made Wake Forest a factor in the ACC since he left Xavier. Meanwhile, here with 6:55 left in the first half, Indiana up 13-11. Wilmot nails the triple. He's a 24% shooter from beyond the arc, but looked good on that one. 16-11 Hoosiers. Young still hasn't scored. The kick out to Tolich was not a pretty looking shot. Strickland the other way for Indiana. Gracie Wright. Gracie Wright has had a quiet first half. And triple for Gracie Wright. And another turnover. Here comes Parker. And there's a holding foul called on the Hoosiers. On a rainy day here in Bloomington, Indiana from Assembly Hall with Bob Ford, I'm Tom Hamilton. 6:12 left first half. Indiana 1-1 in the Big Ten. Northwestern tied for the top spot at 2-1, but the Hoosiers lead at 16-11.
Interesting turn of events. Tolich now playing in that center position because he's not an outside shooter, allows Leach to hang around the basket. He does not have to come out and play defense. In the Illinois game, Northwestern able to use Duwanchek from the outside, forced Nick Smith away from the basket, gave them some lanes. That's not happening here this afternoon.
No. We have another holding foul on Indiana. We've only had 3 team fouls on each club. The first on Roderick Wilmot. We've only had 2 total turnovers in this first half. Seacat, another missed 3. And the rebound, Gracie Wright.
Back at the break, we were looking at some of the stats, and in the ball game at that moment, there were 24 points and 23 rebounds. That tells you that the shooting percentage is not stellar in this ball game yet.
Mohamed Hashad picks up his second personal. And how long have we been watching Duwanchek sit out? Bill Carmody has a thin bench to begin with, and now 2 starters with 2 personals each. There you look at the team fouls. And at the line, Donald Perry, a 70% free throw shooter. Indiana leads 17-11. A look at Donald Perry's numbers. Former Mr. Basketball in the state of Louisiana, where he averaged 30 points a game in high school. That's a lane violation. Looked like both Tolich and Leach. And so it'll be a lane violation on both. Jump ball, possession arrow favors Indiana. So Donald Perry doesn't get to shoot this free throw, but Indiana keeps the ball.
Well, if you're going to make a mistake on the free throw lane, that's the one to make. You know, both of them together. Bill Carmody not particularly pleased with that turn of events.
Bill Carmody walked away from Phil Bola so he wouldn't get teed up. Because he knew he might say something he shouldn't. 5:40 left first half. The pace, Bob, does this favor Northwestern?
The slower pace, I think, is better for them. Unless Indiana starts hitting the 3. You know, that's a couple of threes here in the last 3 or 4 possessions. If that happens, then Northwestern's going to have to pull that zone out.
So Gracie Wright, who is second in the Big Ten at 20 points a game, has 2 triples here today. Biggest Indiana lead at 20-11. Seacat for 3. Another miss. Wright, another rebound. Northwestern something like 1 for 12 from beyond the arc. Gracie Wright missed it. Wilmot the rebound. Got it. Indiana is forcing Bill Carmody to take another timeout. Just like that.
It just takes a couple of those momentum shifters. A good three-pointer, come down and get a second chance off of a rebound, and 5 points in a hurry, and all of a sudden Northwestern's in some trouble. And watching their shooting from where we're sitting, it doesn't look good on the release. The ball is not going true to the basket. They have got to do something other than to shoot the 22-footer. Here's a look a moment ago, right, squared up right in front of the basket. Great shot there. Then on the quick down, again, he comes down. He feels good after that last three-pointer, but Wilmot is there for the rebound. And that's a nice one. Seacott's got to get back there and put a body on him. Even though he's 12, 15 feet from the basket, you've got to put a body on him. What if the ball goes long? Block him out.
Look at those numbers. And if Northwestern doesn't make threes, they're not going to win.
No, they're going to have to shoot the ball from the outside, and they're short one of their big players, and that's important to them. And Young has not been able to get anything going until that basket.
Bob, that's the first time he really looked to score instead of kicking it out.
He's gone baseline a couple of times, and Indiana's done a nice job of doubling up down inside and forcing him to pass the ball.
So it's 22-13. Hoosiers up, 4.5 to play. Wilmot for 3. Oh my, what a bad miss that was. And Duwancic is back in for Northwestern, playing with 2 personals, as is Hashad. So with 4:26 to go in the half, that is critical as you look at Roderick Wilmot from Indiana, that Hashad and Duwancic do not pick up another foul.
Well, you'd really like to protect them, but if you're 22 points down at halftime, it doesn't matter. So you've got to put them back in the ballgame.
This is Duwancic. Fellow Croatian Tolic, 15 on the shot clock. Tough shot. Hashad having a big first half with 9.
Well, that was a nice shot, too. He backed in. He felt Leach coming from the backside, but he got the shot off quickly.
22-15. Hoosiers up under 4 to play. Klein has it stripped, recovered by Perry. Gracie Wright. Rebound Wilmot, and he missed at point-blank range. Parker the other way. Hashad looks like he is hobbled, Bob.
He took a real shot on that rebound, went down hard, and took him a second or two to get up. And whether he bumped a knee on the floor or twisted an ankle, but he does not feel particularly good at the moment.
Well, we've got another timeout. The foul will be on Sean Klein. Northwestern's ball when we come back. Hoosiers lead by 7.
One flat rate, right?
Yep.
LA police. Hey, do you want to be friends? You seem a little tense. Do you mind if we stop and see the Grand Canyon? Woo! I can smell the ocean.
Flat rate pricing. Bad idea for taxis. Good idea for online trading. At Ameritrade, you pay one flat rate of $10.99 for all internet equity trades. Sign up now and trade commission-free for 5 weeks. Plus, get our 5-second guarantee. Go to Ameritrade.com/TV/ or call 866-373-0622.
The Cooper Xeon 2XS Ultra High Performance Tire. Made to perform on the skid pad, the slalom, the track, and in the real world. Cooper tires don't give up a thing.
Low-carb diet mud. Carb sneaking. Diet cheating. We made a promise to each other. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
But it's the new Atkins right from Subway.
Introducing the new Atkins-friendly chicken bacon ranch and turkey and bacon melt wraps. 2 great new tastes from Subway with under 11 net carbs.
What you got there, buddy?
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
Back in the Big Ten studios, coming up at halftime, the Buckeyes picked up their first victory of league play. Iowa and Illinois both have good shooting days. Illinois prevails, and Northwestern not having a great shooting day as far as three-point territory.
Well, you're being very kind, Mike, as you're prone to be. 1 of 13 is not going to get it done for Northwestern. They have to attack at the Indiana defense off the dribble. Look for Indiana to go back inside the Leach. It was very successful for them early on.
All right, Tom.
Thank you very much, Mike. This is Jatim Young in trouble. Hashad penetrates. Boy, what a half for Mohammed Hashad.
He is the only guy for Northwestern that's keeping them close in this ballgame. He's been really good with the knifing move to the basket. He's been able to stay away from the charge, and he's the guy right now. He's the leader on the floor.
He almost had a steal there. Well, Bill Carmody may make another trip to Casablanca. Find another Hashad.
Tell you what, he's playing well today, doing everything that they've asked of him. If he can get a little help from another player or two, they'll be right in the ballgame.
10 on the shot clock. Wilmot bags it. Well, this guy has a chance to be electric offensively. He is a freshman, Roderick Wilmot, out of Florida. Redshirt freshman, 24-17 Indiana. Hashad with the ball has 11. Northwestern 17. Duwancic with the foul trouble has been basically invisible. And Young doesn't have much luck himself. Oh, well, there he is again. Humphrey Bogart would be proud.
He's having a career afternoon here in Assembly Hall, and you know, they've got to have somebody to come up and help him, though, because the defense can load up on him if there's nobody else that's going to score.
14 for Hashad. 24-20 Hoosiers, 1:50 to play. Indiana has seen Northwestern go on a 9-2 run. Leach, double team. And he's not effective that far from the basket. Wilmot in the corner. Rebound, Sean Klein. Oh, is that a big bucket?
Not only is it a big bucket, it's a beautiful basket. A little turnaround, use the glass. Not very many guys around the country do that. That was well executed.
First basket for Sean Klein, who averages 8 a game. 26-20 Hoosiers, 1:15 to play. One thing about Northwestern, they have to feel good they're still in this game despite their shooting woes.
Well, they got down at 8-9 points, and Indiana let them back in the ball game, and I'm sure that's something Mike Davis will talk about at halftime.
Parker missed it. Jump ball, possession arrow, Wildcats. There's Jatim Young. Boy, that young man right there, Jatim Young, is everything you'd want in a college player. 4-year starter, over 1,200 points. And you talk to the Northwestern people and they say he's an even better person.
He never sits down. He's always in the ball game for them, and penetrating, trying to find a way to get it done.
There he is, Jatim Young, and he's only 6'2". And he scored that one in the land of the Giants. 26-22 Hoosiers. Gracie Wright back out front, 20 on the shot clock.
Indiana with difficulty knifing to the basket. Everything is sideline to sideline. They can't get vertical, just horizontal. Credit the defense, they're doing a good job.
8 on the shot clock. Is that up to the point guard, Bob?
I think the point guard and the wings as well. They've got to get down inside and force some angles that are difficult for the defense to cover.
You know, Strickland didn't play for one shot there. Indiana could have run out the clock and played for one after the miss, and instead took the quick shot. So Northwestern gets another chance. And Mike Davis really frustrated because he says at times his club just loses concentration.
Now, you've got to pay attention in the ball game. You've got to know where the clock is. And you've got some younger players. They might panic just a little bit. You'd hope they wouldn't do that at home, but it happens. Yep. So, those are things that you work on in practice the next day.
Well, Parker took the quick three and nailed it. And it's a one-point game, and Indiana has to hurry, and that's going to be the end of the first half. The Wildcats looked like they were in big trouble. Instead, right now, they're down a point, but they must feel like they've got a big lead the way they played here at the end.
They've got to feel great, and what happened is they start to hit the three-pointer. Indiana's taking the ball from the outside, not shooting very well, not using Leach on the inside. Northwestern begins to get their shooting touch back. It's a ball game.
All right, Bob. So it's halftime at Assembly Hall. Hoosiers lead 26-25. To the Big Ten studios, here's Mike Gleason and Sean Morris. Guys?
Thanks, Tom. A good point that Tom brings up, too. They head for the locker room feeling pretty good. Now, we got to keep in mind that Vedran Vukuzic is not playing in this game because of the hyperextended left knee.
And it's big for Northwestern. Mohamed Ashad has done a nice job of stepping up, attacking the rim via the dribble. But a mental breakdown, Mike, by Indiana at the end of the half right there. Took a quick shot, allows T.J. Parker to knock down a three, sending Northwestern into that locker room with momentum. They haven't missed Vukuzic as much as you might think. And Indiana, I think, really has to go back inside. They had that advantage earlier. They just got away from it.
You know, Iowa, they haven't won since 1999 in Champaign. They dropped to 14 of 15. They shot the ball well today, but here's the final. Illinois prevails as the Fighting Illini gets 20 from Roger Powell, but 5 in double figures.
And that's very, very key. And you take a look, Roger Powell had been in foul trouble, is able to go inside, get 20 points. When a guy shoots 63%, he has to touch the ball, as does Augustine. And Illinois, much more pragmatic with the three than they have been in their losses in conference play.
Pierre Pierce is 26. Of course, he hails from the state of Illinois. The Buckeyes pick up their first win.
Once again, going inside early paid off for Ohio State. It was Rudinovich, but Terrence Dials, big game for them. Humphreys, really the first time he showed some freshman frustration, just not able to get it going on the road.
He was 1 for 6, Sean, but he did finish with 19 points. But you're right, Terrence Dials actually got 9 shots today, 14 points for the Buckeyes. Northwestern and the Hoosiers of Indiana. There's the numbers after 20 minutes. Indiana 26-25. More guys than just Bracey shooting the rock there, too.
This is Bob. Bob is doing well. Very well indeed. That's because not long ago, Bob realized that he needed something better in his life. And what did he get? Why, a big boost of confidence, a little more self-esteem, and a very happy missus at home. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement. This is Bob. Bob is playing well. That's because not long ago, Bob decided to go big time. New clothes, new clubs, and a call to Enzyte, the effective, reliable way to natural male enhancement. And in just a few short weeks, Bob has a big new swing of confidence, a little well-earned respect, and a very happy partner back at the clubhouse. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement.
Get in the zone. I'm Jesse James. The way I see it, a car is not just a way to get from point A to point B. It is the point. That's where the pros at AutoZone can help. They've got the stuff you need to keep your car running right and make it as cool as you want. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Should be a pretty interesting second half from Bloomington. Now Hoosiers holding on to the 1-point lead, 26-25. How about the big game in the ACC, Sean? Wake Forest trying to hang in Cameron against Duke. Jamal Levy gets the dunk. Back door, they're within 4.
Wake Forest coming back from a tough road loss at Texas, but it's the drawn dish. J.J. Redick knocks down the 3.
Hit 2 of his first 4. It's 16-68-55 now. The Dukies up with still 7 minutes to go in the ballgame. How about the SEC? Georgia and Kentucky. Jonas Hayes, nice pass from Marcus Sykes. Georgia goes up by 3 at that juncture.
And Georgia gave Georgia Tech their only loss earlier this year, but you know Kentucky's not going to go away. 19 straight consecutive home wins, actually consecutive SEC wins for the Wildcats.
That was Kaylina Azubuki. I wanted to say that. Thank you for letting me say that. Okay, anyway, there's the score, 68. That's Duke, Wake Forest, of course. Kentucky and Georgia. The Cats have won 37 of the last 39 games. Of course, their last one against Mississippi State was by 1 point. Right now, the Dogs on top of the Kentucky Wildcats, 44-40. We've got a 1-point game on the Big Ten Network. It's 26-25. The Indiana Hoosiers on top of those Cats from Northwestern. Should be a great second half. We're back with more after this.
Love, 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 love.
Pity the human male.
Sex, 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 sex.
Love.
Sex.
Love, love, love. Love, 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 love.
Sex. But every once in a magical while,
Rolling Rock, love one.
There's something they can both understand, and the chain of life marches gloriously on.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. Outstanding faculty. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University in Chicago. A symphony of success.
So what if your kitchen drawer, you know, the one where you keep batteries, suddenly got deeper? And say it also had batteries for cell phones and cordless drills, laptops and camcorders. Oh, and odd little batteries for things like watches and cameras, hearing aids, and even batteries for cars, boats, and motorcycles, and better still, offered expert advice and great low prices. Well, that's Batteries Plus. Like your kitchen drawer, only better. Batteries Plus, America's battery experts.
Want to experience real football? Watch it on a Mitsubishi HD TV. Available from Risley's. It's almost like being there. At Risley's, the electronics and custom installation experts.
At Raven Tire, when you buy new tires, we install them for free.
One low price, and all the extras are free.
You get free tire mounting, free wheel balance, free valve stems and disposal, free lifetime tire rotations. Other places charge up to $16 per tire for installation. Not at Raven. It's free. Raven has the guaranteed lowest installed price. Raven Tire and Auto Service.
You know what? George Leach looked like Bob Lanier early, hitting 3 of his first 4. Now this word from Indiana University.
We're bringing together a whole world of information, and it fits in the palm of your hand. In her lifetime, who knows how small the world will feel?
Advancing our understanding of genetics gives everyone the opportunity for a healthy life.
We're finding new ways to help businesses get going. Stay in Indiana. Be successful.
The arts speak to everyone, but they also speak for everyone.
This will be a remarkable century of discovery.
For all of us in Indiana.
Indiana University, at work in your neighborhood.
Good afternoon and welcome to IU Update. I'm Marcella Griffin. Can you imagine how dreary our lives would be if we did not have music? Someone once said, music is the language of angels. And if that's so, then Indiana University must be heaven.
Bloomington is home to one of the world's largest and best-known schools of music. People from all over Indiana travel here to take advantage of the sights and sounds of world-class opera, symphonies, ballet, and even impromptu crowd-pleasing performances. Faculty members often donate their time and talents to benefit the communities in which they live. IU's musical expertise can be felt well beyond the walls of the IU School of Music. At Fort Wayne, IPFW students study music therapy and learn how music has the power to heal. They apply those talents in healthcare facilities. In northern Indiana, this man, Alexander Terrazza has attracted some of the world's finest piano students to South Bend. His reputation has also brought other big names to town, such as the Kirov Orchestra. Indiana University attracts and produces some of the world's finest musicians. Its graduates are the music educators in your hometown. There are many ways IU enriches the quality of life of every Hoosier. More than 5,000 school children have benefited from a special partnership between Bank One and IU Southeast. The Bank One Children's Series brings kids to the Ogle Center on the IU campus at New Albany so they can enjoy live music and theater programs. It's a learning experience Bank One considers well worth the money.
We do hope that every corporation is out there giving some money back in the communities that they serve so that the arts can be available to every child in America.
And here's a program which sends IU students out on the road providing Hoosiers with exceptional music and cultural entertainment. The IU Soul Review is one of 3 performance troupes within IU's African American Arts Institute. The others are the African American Dance Company and the African American Choral Ensemble. The Arts Institute preserves and promotes African American culture through performance, education, research, and outreach.
Once again, these are all great examples of how IU touches people's lives throughout Indiana every day. I'm Marcella Griffin for Indiana University.
Indiana Hoosiers sharing the wealth here. Donald Perry starts it off, and A.J. Moye, the recipient, his only bucket of the first half, but they lead it by 1.
Explain the bottle again.
Well, I fill it with authentic Guinness draft.
Brilliant!
Then we walk outside.
Yes.
Bring it to a party.
Yes.
And then we drink it.
Drink beer at a party? Brilliant! What else you working on?
Remember how I used to open the bottle?
Yes.
Well, I've devised a gadget that does it for you.
Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness draft straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant!
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
Moments away from the second half from Bloomington, 26-25. Let's get you updated on the Big East. Pittsburgh wins again.
Big win for Pitt. 18-0 in Jamie Dixon's first year. Georgia looking to snap that long Kentucky SEC winning streak. And really, I always hope for a Georgia highlight with Uga because that way the viewers are, I'm assured that I'm not going to be the least visually attractive thing coming on their TV today.
Kentucky's won 24 straight when Eric Daniels has scored in double figures. He only has 9, and they trail in the ballgame. Should be interesting there. Should be an interesting second half from Bloomington as well. 26-25 Hoosiers. Enjoy the second half. We'll see you back here after the game.
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produce higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Back in 1927, we pumped our first gallon of Phillips 66, and word got around we made pretty good gasoline. Our idea was treat customers like neighbors, because they are, and make sure that Phillips 66 gasoline is always good enough to keep their cars coming back week after week. It was a good idea 75 years ago, and you know what? It still is. Year after year, mile after mile, and for all the miles to come. Phillips 66.
Get up! Get up! Come on! Get up! Come on! Get up! Get up!
Around these parts, trouble doesn't stand a chance. For the best parts, people and brass, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Big Ten fans embody the spirit of college basketball.
They support their favorite teams and conference with passion and loyalty.
Their knowledge in class helps set the Big Ten apart from the rest.
So do your part the next time you cheer from the stands. Show good sportsmanship and respect the fans, the officials,
and the great tradition that is Big Ten basketball.
Big Ten basketball. Good sports make great fans.
Welcome back to Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana at halftime. Indiana leading by a point, and one of the all-time greats, Antoine Randall L. 7,000 yards passing, 3,500 yards rushing as a quarterback at Indiana, now Pittsburgh Steeler, had his jersey number honored here today. One of the all-time greats in Hoosier football history. Right now, the Indiana basketball program could maybe use some of that Antoine Randall L magic. He always found a way. And right now, Indiana's got to find a way.
They've got to find a way. They had segments in the half where they did pretty well. They used Leach early. Moyer had a nice basket off of a Leach pass. They got some shots on the outside from Wilmot late. But the last 5 minutes of the half, they let Northwestern beat them 14-4.
So the Hoosiers with the basketball as we start play. And how about this number, folks? Northwestern did not commit a turnover in the first half. Wright doubled up. And a steal by Hashad. Ahead to Young. Missed the layup, and look at Hashad. Possession arrow favors Northwestern. Boy, Hashad has played like a man on a mission here today.
Boy, that was really athletic basketball there. Running the court as hard as he could. Got tied up on the inside with a basketball, but his team gets it back because of possession. That was just great hustle, and that's what he's been doing the entire ballgame. He's leading with his hustle.
Northwestern, not the most talented team in the Big Ten, but right now playing with a great deal of confidence and energy.
Their defense really has Indiana frustrated right now. They're really tying up the passing lane.
And finally, a three-pointer. And Northwestern with its first lead at 28-26 on the triple by T.J. Parker. And another steal, this time by Tolich.
Indiana just does not have an answer for that defense. Tim Young has pulled out in the middle of the zone at the point, and he is creating some real problems for Indiana. They need to get somebody up in the middle of the elbow, either side of the lane, right at the free throw line, that they can throw the ball to and get inside that zone.
Right now, Bob, Northwestern's the aggressor here to start this second half.
Well, they've really come out fired up.
And a bad pass, first turnover by Tim Young in Northwestern. Indiana down 2. Moyer takes the 3. How many times do you see a guy, if he thinks about it, you're better off not shooting it?
If it's not instinctual, I mean, if you don't just catch it and shoot it, chances are it's not going to go. And you could see him thinking, I really shouldn't take this shot, but it was so wide open.
Duwancic, air ball, rebound, and a strong one by Perry. Ahead to Strickland. Oh, what a move. What a move. And fouled. He'll shoot 2. Let's take a look at our first half highlights brought to you by Chevy.
Well, Well, it's Hashad from the outside. I mean, he was red hot during the first half, ends up with 14 points. On the other end, it was Wilmot that came on late. He got a couple of 3 jumpers, ended up with 7 points for the Hoosiers as their leading scorer. Those 2 guys were the story in the first half.
And now Hashad, whom you just saw on the highlights, has picked up his 3rd personal foul. And the first appearance today of Patrick Ewing Jr. Yes, the son of a former great out of Georgetown, and then, of course, in the NBA. And the younger Ewing just hasn't played a lot of basketball as much as so many kids today that come up through the 8. So he's really a diamond in the rough, so to speak, but he has great potential.
And they spent a lot of time with him in their pregame warm-up prior to coming out for the ball game. He spent maybe 45 minutes out with the coaching staff working on moves around the basket.
We're deadlocked at 28, 2 minutes into it. Young for the lead. Rebound, Gracie Wright, and the Hoosiers with a chance to reclaim the lead.
Strickland a moment ago did a real smart thing in taking the ball to the basket. Indiana has not gone towards the basket enough. Thus, they only got to the free throw line 1 time in the first half. They've got the people that can go to the bucket if they'll just do it.
And Gracie Wright with a triple. He has 9 on 3 threes. Northwestern now down 3. Indiana steals back the momentum. Hashad in trouble. Tough shot. Young fouled. He'll go to the line. Jatim Young at 6'2", but Northwestern's best rebounder at 7 rebounds a game.
Well, when you talk about going inside, what happens? He hits the 3-pointer from the outside. Of course, Gracie Wright, just an outstanding athlete. Great shooter. That time on balance, shoulders were square, and he nailed it.
Gracie Wright with 3 threes, but he has not been the one-man wrecking crew today. Northwestern's done a pretty good job on him. But as North Texas State found out, he's capable of lighting it up in a hurry. He had 39 at North Texas State earlier this season. A 2-point Indiana lead, 3 minutes into the second half. Northwestern showing a little trap there in the half court. This is Ewing. For 3, Strickland.
Mark that spot over there. That's 2 in a row. As Indiana beginning to warm up from the outside. That brings the crowd into the ball game. Northwestern will want to slow down, take the crowd back out of it, see if they can't get a good shot.
An 8-1 run by the Hoosiers, sparked by the long ball. 5-point Indiana lead. And a steal and a foul on Young as he tripped up Wright. So just when it looked like Indiana was in trouble, they see this game swinging their way again.
They're playing a little better defense. Duwanchik trying to go inside, dribbling between 2 guards. At 6'8", you can't do that. It just takes too long for the ball to get to the floor and back up. The guards are going to take it away.
Not many mistakes in this one. Northwestern had 3 turnovers in their win Wednesday night against Illinois. Ewing. This is Boye. Over to Wanchik. And Strickland with an offensive rebound. Right for 3. Northwestern had it, fought among themselves. Another chance for the Hoosiers. And a foul away from the ball. Offensive foul, throwing an elbow on Patrick Ewing, his first. So we've got a timeout. Indiana once again has momentum on its side. Mank Davis's crew up 5.
The Cooper Xeon 2XS Ultra High Performance Tire. Made to perform on the skid pad, the slalom, the track, and in the real world. Cooper tires don't give up a thing.
This is a crucial moment for the male. Cohabitation. It is a show of commitment. It is an indication of responsibility. It is love.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
Get a little out of line. The best thing about being a woman is the prerogative to have a little fun.
The new Chevy Colorado Crew Cab has the biggest interior in its class. So if you're ever uncomfortable, it won't be because of lack of space.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Everything's bigger in Colorado. An American revolution.
Welcome to Assembly Hall. It's time for the We Know You, brought to you by Citgo. Proud to be a supporter of today's athletes. One of the greatest in Big Ten history, Steve Alford.
Steve Alford, an outstanding individual, not only as a player, but as a person. And tell you what, he didn't get to be a great shooter just because he walked out on the court one day. That's hours and hours of practice. And I'll tell you what, he could light it up for the Hoosiers.
Played on that 1987 national championship team, over 2,400 career points. And only 1 year did he play with a three-point line.
He would have had a couple of more points over the course of those years if the three-point line would have been there.
Northwestern now down 5. The Wildcats have had only 3 players score today. Doncic has not, and he almost lost it. Tolic almost traveled.
He turned around to look where Ewing was because he knew he was coming. He didn't want to get the shot blocked, and he almost forgot to dribble.
So that's the 4th Wildcat to score, and Tolic made that one of the more interesting layups we've seen. 34-31 Indiana. Crushed 35 on a kicking of the basketball.
See Tolic here a moment ago. Here's the play, a little scramble for the basketball. They find a way to get it inside to the big guy who looks around and says, "Where are you?" "Okay, I got the bucket." No problem. Hoosiers still struggling against this zone. They're not getting anybody breaking into the middle. Now Ewing is standing there, but standing there won't do it. You've got to come from behind the defense.
Indiana last in the Big Ten in offense, in shooting, in assists. But they lead today 34-31. For 3, Strickland. Boy, they have found the mark here in this half.
A little more probing that time of trying to find that lane in there. And as they did, they took a step forward and got that three-pointer in rhythm, which is something they didn't have in the first half. There was no rhythm to their offense. He caught the ball in rhythm and nailed it.
Strickland has 10 after a strong outing Sunday in Ann Arbor. So Indiana back up 6. Young for 3. Not a good shooter. Rebound, Moye. Moye. Oh, what a move.
When A.J. Moye has the ball in the center of the court, you know where he's going. He is going to the basket, and you better get him stopped or he's going to score and probably get an and one on you.
This red-clad crowd up in unison. And a holding foul on Strickland.
Here's A.J. Moye coming right down the middle. Beautiful move right there around Young, and then you know he's going to the bucket. And that was not an easy shot. Not an easy shot at all. Comes down, has to go sideways because he's got people flying at him, but finds a way to put it up softly off the backboard.
Great job by our camera crew. You don't teach that move. Doncic hasn't scored. Number 31 for the Wildcats had 22 in the win.
You know, Indiana has not given up a backdoor cut in this ballgame.
That's a good point, Bob. They haven't given up many second chance opportunities. But this time a Hoosier foul, says Phil Bova emphatically. He calls it on A.J. Moye. It'll be the third on Moye.
Right now, Northwestern is a little bigger in their lineup than is Indiana, and they're able to go to the offensive board.
(39-31) Hoosiers. 13:22 left. A shot. Duwancic still hasn't scored. Indiana basketball. Went over the top of the backboard. So Duwancic, who had 22 on Wednesday, a goose egg so far today. And shooting the rock, brought to you by Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock. Northwestern really struggling shooting today. And a foul on the drive.
There was an excellent point right there that I've been talking about. It's getting somebody in the middle. That time, Wright came from behind the defense, found an opening right at the elbow. They got him the basketball, and he's able to go to the bucket.
Haven't seen that much, have we?
You've got to do that against this 1-3-1 zone, because what they've done is they put Young right in the middle, forcing Indiana to throw the lob pass over the top. It's a slow pass, so the defense has time to react. If you can get into some quick movements, quick passes in and out, then you've got some offensive thrust.
The only Hoosier in double figures for the season. When you talk about per game average, Gracie Wright at 20 a game. Evan Seacat is in. Today, though, Wright's had some help from Strickland. And Gracie Wright averaging 20 a game, second in the Big Ten, behind only Chris Humphreys of Minnesota. But Mike Davis again saying yesterday, other people have to step up. Because he said everybody in the country knows when they play Indiana, you've got to try to put the shackles on Gracie Wright.
Well, they've had good help from Leach. He's had some good minutes. Still not totally in shape yet, but he's had some good minutes. And Sean Klein came in, had a nice turnaround jump shot, so they've gotten some things out of people when they needed it.
A shot. Hasn't scored this half after he had the big first half. A shot. Got it. And a foul on Indiana. Oh, Hashad once again seems to rescue Northwestern when it looks like they're on the brink of getting blown out of here.
He really does a nice job of just hanging around. Took the shot a little quick. Did not get the ball in the right position. But look at him hang around here. Here's the ball. All right, try to stop me. He takes it to the basket, goes to the free throw line. Chance for a three-point play that keeps Northwestern close by.
Way short, though, on the free throw. Indiana with the ball up 8. 12:35 left in it.
Northwestern back to the man-to-man, and they have not been as good when they've been in this man-to-man. Indiana's found a way to get to the basket.
Strickland against Parker. Fading. Air ball. Rebound yanked out of there, though, by Ewing. You talk about an athlete. Patrick Ewing Jr. 5 on the shot clock. Get it! And keeping it alive was Perry to tip it in.
Nice work by Perry. Found a way to the basket, put it up, and then decided to play volleyball with it as he hung inside. They didn't put a body on it.
10-point Hoosier lead. We're 8 minutes into the second half. Parker. A shot. Look at everybody beyond the arc. Just kind of spotting up.
Look at the energy in Indiana's defense right now. They're really moving with the basketball, doing a nice job keeping Northwestern out of what they want to do.
And Young threw it away, and the Hoosier defense forces the third turnover this half on Northwestern. Wright gave it up.
Good thought by Wright, though. He knows that Hashad's got 3 fouls. If he gets him up in the air, I guarantee you there was going to be a foul there.
Yep. Indiana with a lead, up 10. Shot clock down to 10. Wright. He threw it away. That'll be over and back when Strickland touches it. So Northwestern forces the turnover. But Mike Davis's Hoosiers have taken control, leading by 10.
Get up! Get up! Come on! Get up! Come on! Get up! Get up! Get up!
adaptable, retractable. It's sport utility with more utility. The new GMC Envoy XUV. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. GMC Professional Grade Engineering.
It's King's Grape Ice Plus Super Weekend Sale. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. With huge discounts store-wide, including big screens just in time for the Super Bowl. Plus, get up to 24 months free financing. Don't miss the Super Weekend Sale at King's Grape Ice Plus.
Harper's Transmission is no longer just another transmission shop. Known for their outstanding service work on major transmission overhauls, Harper's is now your car's total service provider. The Tri-State has trusted Harper's with their transmission work since 1969. And now you can count on the same professional service for your car's brakes, alignments, tune-ups, AC units, and much more. For all of your car's general repair needs, give Harper's a call. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Harper's Transmission, conveniently located at 6301 Maxwell, just off Burkhart.
It's King's Grape Ice Plus Super Weekend Sale. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. With huge discounts store-wide, including big screens just in time for the Super Bowl. Plus, get up to 24 months free financing. Don't miss the Super Weekend Sale at King's Grape Ice Plus.
Georgia and Kentucky. Little dribble penetration, kicks it outside now to Rashad Wright. Wright had 20 points. And you know what? The Georgia Bulldogs, remember the win over Georgia Tech? Now they slam dunk the Kentucky Wildcats. That's a 21-game conference winning streak is snapped. And Tom, it looks like the coach's poll might be shaken up a little.
Wow, I guess so, Mike. And to do that in Lexington, what a win that is for Georgia.
I tell you, you're not safe anywhere in college basketball today. You think that you're home, you can protect your home court, the crowd's going to help you, and bang, somebody comes in and stomps on your toes.
So, and I think Kentucky will be fifth as you had a look there at the top 10 in the country. Young penetrating, in trouble. A shot. Well, Indiana much more aware of Mohammed Hashad here in the second half.
Well, they've got to step out on him. He's had a great ball game for Northwestern. He's been the ball game for Northwestern. And if they can limit him, they've got a chance to run away and hide.
Shot clock down to 12. Parker fading. Parker missing. Run down by Ewing. Indiana with the ball up 10. 10.5 to play. Still Indiana's basketball.
Boy, what a tough shot Parker took. Running through the lane like that, jumping up with a floater. He must have moved 6-8 feet in the air and then tried to shoot back to the basket. That's almost impossible.
Well, Bob, you talked about it before. The difference here now, Indiana's defense, they look like they've been re-energized.
Well, they're attacking the basketball. They're not allowing Northwestern to run their offense. They're running people at the backside of the ball, and they've caused Northwestern some problems. Didn't have a turnover in the first half. Now they've got 5 or 6 here in the second.
Ewing almost turned it over. Very difficult pass in traffic. Recovered by Ewing.
Indiana the aggressor without question now, Tom. And they're hungry for the basketball. They can feel the win coming. They know they've got to win this ball game here at home. And Northwestern struggling just a bit. Can't find a score at the moment.
Hoosiers with a 12-point lead, their biggest. Seacat finds Duwancic, who has his first points of the day, and they were much needed. So it's a 9-point Indiana lead. Still a long way to go, 9.5 to play. Although Northwestern is not going to score a lot of points in bunches, so they can't afford a big hill to climb late in the game. There's a steal by Young. Ahead to Hashad. Reverse layup. Cuts the deficit to 7. Hashad has a career-high 18 matched with that bucket.
Well, he's quick, too. Very quick down the court. You can see now Northwestern a little energized.
Great look. And that'll recharge the Hoosiers. Perry to Ewing.
That'll take all the air out of the balloon right there. You think you've got a chance now to get back in the ball game, and Ewing absolutely just flushes one.
Offensive foul to Duwancic. His third. And Patrick Ewing Jr. has brought a little life to this Hoosier team and fans.
Boy, right there, he got up big on the slam and then came back at the other end and made a good defensive move. Indiana has a chance now to put some space between them and Northwestern and maybe begin to take some of the air out of those Wildcat sails.
8.5 minutes to play. Hoosiers with the ball up 9. Good look for Strickland.
There's the inside-outside. They got the ball into the center of the zone. As the zone collapses, they get a nice look outside to Strickland, who catches the ball again in rhythm and nails a three.
It's been an impressive second half for the Hoosiers. Up 12 with 8:21 to play.
Love, 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 love.
Pity
love,
the
love,
human male.
Sex, 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 sex.
Love.
Sex.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love.
Sex.
But every once in a magical while,
Rolling Rock. Love one.
there's something they can both understand. And the chain of life marches gloriously on.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
Get in the zone. I'm Jesse James. The way I see it, a car is not just a way to get from point A to point B. It is the point. That's where the pros at AutoZone can help. They've got the stuff you need to keep your car running right and make it as cool as you want. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
It's simple, really. If we could get everybody in the country to drive the all-new Chevy Malibu, we think they'd agree. It's just about perfect. The new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
Expressway Chevrolet proudly ends 2003 with more new Chevy sales than any other dealer in the tri-state. How? We sell Chevys for less. We advertise the lowest price. We guarantee the lowest price. And we back it up with a $2,500 pledge. Like a new 2004 Chevy Impala for just $15,990. A new 2004 Trailblazer LS as low as $20,990. The biggest mistake you may ever make is not shopping Expressway Chevrolet.
Doesn't. And Bob, what has changed offensively for the Hoosiers?
The Hoosiers are finding a way to get inside this zone. You see, there's the double team out front. Now, if you can find a way to get it inside to the middle, right back outside, now you're catching the ball in rhythm. And bang, you hit the three-pointer. It's much more difficult to catch that ball coming from the outside and look back to the basket, force the defense to turn their head, then you've got some rhythm.
Indiana scored 26 points in the first half, already 24 in the second half with 8:14 to play. Duwancic with a miss. Young got fouled, or did he? No, jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Hoosiers. Tim Young not convinced, and Bill Carmody not happy.
Young left that ball up high, and when you're down inside, you almost have to try to squeeze the air out of it, because you put it above your head, the big guy's going to reach up and grab it. There was a lot of contact there. There could have been a foul.
Indiana's done a heck of a job on Tim Young today.
You know what they've done? When he goes baseline, they put three guys on top of him. There's nowhere for. He likes to do a little reverse layup. He can't do it because there's a guy standing in his way.
He's been held, Tim Young, to 5 points. 10 on the shot clock and a turnover. A shot has numbers. Young will score. And it's a 10-point game with 7:35 remaining. 7 for Tim Young, who averages 18 a game. Just when it looks like Northwestern's out of chances, they come roaring back at an offensive foul on Patrick Ewing Jr. And now Mike Davis is dismayed by the call. So the Wildcats not going away quietly.
What are you holding now?
A six-pack.
A six-pack?
Brilliant.
What's it do?
Well, I figured out how to carry 6 beers at the same time.
Carry 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant! Let's drink them.
You know, I've been thinking, it might not be the smartest idea to drink 6 beers at the same time.
Don't drink 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Drink in a straff straight from the bottle, and always enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Used to be really good grass control. Came at a cost to the health of your corn. But that was before Option herbicide. It's the first post-emerge grass herbicide with a built-in safener. Option gets all your major grasses and allows you to use higher caliber tank mixes. So you can also get your broadleaves, all without worrying about crop safety. Option, grass control that puts you in control.
Nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on. No innovation, make no condition. Get a little out of line.
The new Chevy Colorado Crew Cab has the biggest interior in its class. So if you're ever uncomfortable, it won't be because of lack of space.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Everything's bigger in Colorado. An American revolution.
Welcome to Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana with Bob Ford. I'm Tom Hamilton. 7:25 to play. Indiana with a 10-point lead on top of Northwestern, 50-40, after leading by just a point at halftime. The shooting for Northwestern, it's been a struggle all day. Indiana's really picked it up.
They've really done a nice job. They're getting people shots in the flow of their offense, and they're getting back to the backboard. But the biggest thing is they're beginning to hit some shots. They only shoot 38% on the year, 45, really a good percentage for them.
And now a pushing foul on Ewing. Northwestern goes to the 1-and-1. Check that, George Leach with the foul, but it still puts Northwestern in the bonus. You saw those shooting percentages. Northwestern, when they won in Iowa City and then beat Illinois Wednesday night, both games shot over 50%. They're nowhere near that today.
Well, they're shooting about 46% on the season, and I mentioned Indiana shooting about 38. It's interesting you saw that stat, and they're just backwards.
Yeah.
You know, Indiana's the team that's shooting, and that's here in the second half. They've been shooting the ball real well, and I think it's because they're catching the ball in the flow. They've got some rhythm to the game, which they didn't have in the first half.
Offensive rebound, Tim Young. Northwestern crashes the boards, doesn't convert. Look at Perry break out. Perry the other way, drew the foul on Hashad. That'll be 4 on Hashad. So now, Gatorade, one of our corporate partners. Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, it's in college basketball. Is it in you? Bringing you today's Big Ten battle from Bloomington. 7:04 to play. And Perry at the line banks the first. He's a 70% free throw shooter. And Bill Carmody is going to keep Mohammed Hashad on the floor with 4 fouls, probably, Bob, because they're down 10. And another lane violation. The second one today. This one, another double lane violation. Jump ball, possession arrow, favors Northwestern. Mike Davis wants a timeout. And he wants an explanation from Lamont Simpson.
Boy, there they are stepping in. It looked to me like Northwestern was in the lane. It did not look like Indiana stepped in at all. So I'm not sure what the explanation is going to be there, but it looked like Northwestern was the team that stepped in. So how many times?
Yeah.
Let's go to the record book here. You think that's ever happened twice in one ball game? Anywhere?
Well, Mike Davis didn't like the explanation from Lamont Simpson, and I don't know that Phil Bova gave him any kind of an answer he liked either. As we take a look at our assist leaders, brought to you by Cargill. Collaborate, create, and succeed. Aaron Williams of Illinois leading the league. Devin Harris of Wisconsin close behind. Boy, that's a big call.
That is a big call because it gives the ball to Northwestern down 10. Now they've got a chance to get it under double figures, and you know that's the second one that Leach has been in. And matter of fact, I think Duwanchik was also involved in the other one as well.
So Mike Davis called the quick timeout. Still Northwestern's ball. And now a whistle away from the ball. It goes against George Leach. His second. Well, if Mike Davis wasn't happy before.
And he did have a conversation with George Leach on the sideline, again, nose to nose, about, you know, you've been around the game of basketball too long to make that mistake. And then he's, you know, you get compounded by another mistake at the other end. So Sean Klein will come in for a while for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, if you're not going to listen to me the first time, then my next solution is make you an assistant coach.
Yeah, come on over and sit down. You know, have a glass of water and a towel, and we'll talk to you later.
There's Mike Davis. Well, you talk about one of the nicest people you'll meet in this game of college basketball, Mike Davis.
Had a chance to sit with him for about 45 minutes before the game. Back in the back, watching film, and a lot of insight on the game of basketball.
And he has the top recruiting class in the country coming to Indiana next year. But right now, he's concerned about another over and back violation, and Indiana has not been able to deliver the knockout punch.
Yeah, one of the things that Mike talked about is that you get a lead in the ball game, and the clock is running, but you just feel like your team does not have control of the ball game, and that's what you're seeing here. The Hoosiers were in the position to do the knockout punch on Northwestern, but they've let them get back in the game.
Well, Bob, this one may go right down to the wire. Earlier today in Columbus, Ohio State beat Minnesota as they pulled away late. And in this doubleheader with Bob Ford on Tom Hamilton, 6:27 to play. Indiana's lead is 8. And now Duwanchik picks up his 4th personal. A shot is on the floor with 4. And Northwestern just doesn't have answers on the bench because they're down to 7 scholarship players.
And the thing that you see in looking at the stat sheet is the fact that everybody's playing 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So you begin to wonder, you get down to that last 4-minute segment, will they have anything left?
Gracie Wright, he hasn't had a huge afternoon. The boys hit some big-time shots, 13 for Wright. Indiana back up 10, traveling on Northwestern. 5 turnovers on the Wildcats all this half. That's T.J. Parker, and he was muttering in French there. We're under 6 minutes to play. Indiana trying to put away the Wildcats. Wilmot, what a fake, missed the shot. Rebound, corralled by Strickland. Pass to Moyer, fouled, he'll shoot 2.
Indiana had such great numbers on that individual play there that you had 2 people down inside. Klein and Moyer were standing next to each other. And they really couldn't determine who was going to catch the basketball, and it made the shot a little more difficult than it would have been. Surprised that Moyer didn't finish. He is so good at finishing around the basket and getting the 3-point opportunity.
Moyer has 8 rebounds today, and he leads Indiana in that department. As you look at his points to go with the rebounds, the last Indiana Hoosier under 6'4" to lead the team in rebounding was Jim Thomas 21 years ago. (55-43) Hoosiers, 5.5 minutes to play. Wildcats now looking for a spark. Duwanchik, tough shot. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Got the rebound though. Almost traveled. And timeout called by Bill Carmody. He's running out of timeouts, but he also feels this one's starting to slip away, Bob.
John Klein did a nice job of putting a body on Duwanchik as he moved across the lane there. And, you know, that makes it so difficult. You get that little bump. He got frustrated.
Yeah.
Instead of just playing it out and moving the basket, he got frustrated and took a bad shot. They were lucky to get it back.
Well, Bob, we hope everybody will join us next Saturday as once again Mike Gleason and Sean Morris will get you updated from the Big Ten studios at noon Eastern. Then Michigan will travel to Penn State, followed by Illinois and Wisconsin. A Big Ten basketball doubleheader a week from today. It all gets underway at noon from ESPN+. Mike Gleason, Sean Morris do a great job in the studios. And the way this Big Ten season is starting off, Bob, pretty good chance we'll go right down to the final week before we know who's the Big Ten champ.
I think that's exactly right. These teams are relatively even, and anybody can get you on a given night if you didn't bring your A game.
Yep. Seacat, the kick out. Indiana's defense has been so much more energetic this half, but what a move by Young.
First time Young's found a lane to the basket. Normally there are 3 Hoosiers there to stop him.
Young closing in on a double-double. 9 points, 8 rebounds. 10-point Indiana lead, under 5 to play. See how patient Indiana is now with the lead. Strickland finds Wilmot. Open look, Gracie Wright. Rebound, Klein. Fouled on the way up. Tim Young picks up his second.
Just a moment ago, though, he made a great move to the basket offensively. Look at this. The little jump hop right there. Right into the bucket. Got a couple of points for his ball club, but rebounding has really been a problem for Northwestern. They're being beaten badly. 12, 13, 14 rebounds in this ball game are there. Sean Klein gets a big board on the inside and the chance for some free throws.
So Indiana leads at 57-45, 4:34 to play. This is Young. This time there's plenty of help defense. Duwancic got poked in the eye, missed the 3. And either in the eye or the nose, Duwancic with a hand to his face. The native of Croatia. If you're wondering why Bill Carmody has 3 from Croatia, 1 from Paris, 1 from Morocco, it all comes down to the fact he wasn't able to recruit kids, he said, in the United States to out-recruit other schools in the Big Ten, so he did the next best thing, and it's been working. Klein inside. Oh, what a power move by Klein.
Classic big move around the basket. The step away fake and then step back inside, take it up strong, and he's really doing a job on Duwancic, who is in foul trouble. You know, he's got to stay in the ballgame. Here's the look. Take the dribble out. There's the fake. Step right back inside strong. Yep. To the bucket. That's a nice move.
And we've got a timeout. 3:51 left in this one. Indiana in control by 14.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Susan. I'm Frank's friend, Steve.
Of course you are.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in. Dinner's almost ready.
Oh, I thought we were going out. I made reservations.
Oh, no. I made lasagna. Oh, don't worry. I used soy cheese because I know that you're lactose intolerant.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Try this on.
Wow, you made this for me?
Yeah, I learned how to knit online. It's really no big deal. And these. And this. Okay. Let's go meet my parents.
Special treatment. Bad idea for blind dates, good idea for online trading. Ameritrade Apex is our premier active trading program. Get special benefits like the latest trading tools, access to exclusive webcasts, and discounts on research products.
Hi, Steve.
Sign up now and get $100 if you qualify for Apex, plus 25 commission-free internet equity trades. Go to Ameritrade.com/Apex/ or call 866-368-4610.
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produced higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Multifunctional, adaptable, Retractable. It's sport utility with more utility. The new GMC Envoy XUV. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. GMC professional grade engineering.
Today's ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Guinness Draft Stout, enjoyed responsibly the world over. Citgo. At Citgo, we enjoy basketball as much as you do. Citgo, we know you. And by the new Chevrolets, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American revolution.
Just under 4 minutes to play. Indiana leads 59-45 here from Assembly Hall, a building in which Northwestern has never won in this building. Tim Young in traffic will go to the line and shoot a pair.
Well, if you're the Hoosiers, one thing you don't want to do is to give Northwestern an opportunity to score with the clock dead.
Yeah.
Good job by Young. Nice head and shoulder fake. Launched line on the inside, and then he just leans in, gets the free throws.
So Tim Young now with 10 points. .47. Northwestern running out of time. As Indiana with a win today would go to 2-1 in the Big Ten. Wildcats right now 2-1 in the conference on the drive. Boyer! And he might be hurt. He is still down by the basket standard.
He really went down hard. I don't think he hit his head. He did come down hard on that right hip, and he may be favoring one hand or the other. Boy, he's a tough kid.
Boy, he is. 4 years here at Indiana, part of a Final Four team.
Boy, did he ever go hard at the basket. He put the right hand down. Might be able to see it here. Much well, you're not going to be able to see the hand, but he put that right hand down to try to soften the blow and probably just hyperextended the wrist a little bit.
Long three for Seacat, and he knocks it down. 61-50 with just over 3 minutes to go. Seacat's first bucket. Now the trap. Strickland dribbles out of it. Boyer to Klein. Duancic has fouled out and count the bucket. And Sean Klein has had some big hoops here in the second half.
Did a nice job coming in at the end of the first half and got a big basket for him. Here in the second half, he's been very powerful offensively. And there, boy, that was a great finish. We saw him a moment ago with the drop steps right around the basket. Duancic, he's a little frustrated. I think he knew going in there he was going to get that foul, and he's going to go out of the ball game. 6 points today, 22 last Wednesday, I believe it was, against Illinois. So the Hoosiers really shut him down. They did a nice job on it defensively.
And with the injury to Kusic, Duancic needed another big day. 13-point Hoosier lead. Hashad the miss, Boyer the rebound. And into the front court coming in a hurry is Strickland, and grabbing Strickland was Parker. That close to being an intentional foul.
Very, very close. And we talked a minute ago about Northwestern, everybody having to play a lot of minutes, and I think you're seeing them tired now. Yeah. The shots are not nearly as energetic as they were earlier, and Indiana, sensing the kill, is really going after them. And this game could get ugly for Northwestern in terms of the points at the end of the game, or what the actual margin was. Pretty close game for maybe 35 of these minutes, and then all of a sudden Indiana gets hot.
So Indiana up 65-50 with 2:40 to play. Giving it up to Parker. Oh, what a look to Tim Young, who scores, and a foul.
where Young is so good down around the basket. When he gets matched up with somebody his size, now obviously if the big guys are going to be in there, it makes it more difficult for him. He just hangs around. Nice pass from Parker. Moves the shot around a bit. Puts it in the bucket. Gets a chance at the three-point line. And we'll give a little optimism to Northwestern. They're not out of it yet.
14 points for Young. 65-53 Indiana. The trap is set, but Indiana recognizes it, finds the open man. Gracie Wright fouled by Seacat. Both clubs double bonus rest of the way. And Gracie Wright, not a guy you want to foul, an 81% free throw shooter, but Northwestern can't be picky now.
Indiana, their opponent has changed. It's no longer Northwestern. It's now the clock. It's to be smart, and Wright did a good job of not taking a quick shot, force Northwestern into the fouling situation, get to the line.
The sophomore out of the Dallas, Texas area drops in the first. Gracie Wright today has had 14 points, a quiet 14 if there is such a thing. For Wright.
I think what makes it quiet, Tom's the fact that they've been spread. You know, he's gotten big baskets at the right times for Indiana, and that's what you need.
But he's had some help today. Wilmot, Wright, and a steal by Parker. A shot. He just fouled out of the game. Klein took a beating, but drew the charge.
Klein's done a nice job. He's come in and worked hard in that middle. He's not the tallest guy in the world, but he uses his body well, gets the position, takes the hit. No question about the call. I think even Rashad knew that he did it. And he's been able to stay away from those kind of fouls. He's flown around the basket a couple of times, but been able to slide to one side or the other of Hoosier, who was trying to set up for that charging foul. But that time, late in the ball game, when you don't have quite the legs that you did earlier, it becomes a problem.
Well, he did match a career high with 18. A Northwestern bump on the inbounds. Again, double bonus, so 2 free throws. He matches a career best with 18 points. But he had 14 of those in the first half. And Indiana made sure that they didn't let him out of their sight in the second half.
He was the only reason Northwestern was in the ball game at halftime. You know, a couple of shots down late. Nice three-pointer. He keeps them in the game, but in the second half, the Hoosiers just shut him down.
1:59 to play. Indiana up 14. Nearing that magical 70-point mark. Indiana scores 70. They are going to win, and Northwestern is not going to beat many teams giving up 70 points.
Well, they've got to keep the game in the 60s for them to be successful, and you know they're not going to get up to their average, which is 68 points in this game. So you know the Hoosiers have done a good job with them. Northwestern early settled for that three-pointer, and they just didn't fall.
Mike Davis was saying yesterday that after Indiana won on Sunday in Ann Arbor, a huge road win, said that was not the week then that you wanted not to be playing right away again. You had some momentum, you wanted to keep playing, but schedule said that they were off until today, and maybe they were a little sluggish in the first half, fell behind in the second half, but then, Bob, they really turned it up a notch.
Northwestern had a good start, maybe 2.5 minutes. It looked like they were going to give Indiana trouble. And the Hoosiers just turned right around defensively, took Northwestern out of their game, and then the offense picked up.
Wilmot, over and back, shot clock violation, take your pick. Mike Davis will start to empty his bench, though, because the Hoosiers are in command, up 15 with 1:24 to play. As always, 17,000 plus at Assembly Hall approve of the effort, because Mike Davis got terrific defensive effort, and it turned this game around in the second half after the Hoosiers had fallen behind for the first time.
Well, you expect Indiana to have big games out of Strickland. certainly out of right, but they've been able to get some balance from some other people that's made the difference. You know, Leach had a pretty good ball game early, a little bit of trouble in the second half, but then Klein comes in and takes over for him. Moyer gives his normal ball game. You know, he's going to give you 6 or 8 points and lots of hustle, and that's what they need out of their club if they're going to be successful and get in the Big Ten race.
So Tim Young with 14 points at the line to shoot 2. 68-54 Indiana with 1:19 to play. The problem for Northwestern, they'll play another rugged opponent Wednesday night at home in Michigan State, and again they'll be without arguably their second best all-around player, and Vedran Vukusic still out with that knee. Well, now it's time for the Advanced Auto Parts upcoming schedule, and there is the upcoming schedule for Indiana. And Ohio State gets a much-needed win at home today, so that won't be easy for the Hoosiers. Then on to Minnesota. Boy, 3 out of their next 4 on the road. That's why they had to win today.
Yeah, they've got a tough schedule to start the Big Ten. The good thing is the back end of the schedule favors them towards the end so that they can get through this first segment without too much damage being done. They're in good shape at the end of the year.
Ryan Tapek, who had been starting earlier this season, hits a pair of free throws for Indiana. Inside, a great rejection by Jason Stewart.
These guys are going to play 40 minutes in one.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to give everything they've got. Don't get on the court much, and when they get a chance,
make the most of it.
You better believe it. I mean, coach is watching.
Yep.
He's over there seeing who's giving an effort, and you never know that your effort that you give in his last 2 minutes might get you a little playing time.
A 3-pointer by Evan Seacat. He has 6 on a pair of trays. 13-point Indiana lead. Tapek doesn't panic. Crosses the timeline. This is Eric's serve. A lot of walk-ons on the floor now. Johnson's pass almost picked off. Serve, jump ball, possession arrow favors Indiana. You look at the walk-ons. I don't know if we can get a shot of number 21, Mark Johnson, one of the walk-ons for the Hoosiers. He's got an eye that's all black and blue and bandaged up. There's Mark. Unfortunately, it's the other eye. Mark didn't know he was on camera, or he would have turned for us. I mean, these guys talk about effort. There's Johnson for 3. That'll make the eye feel better.
Perfect. That's perfect. You talk about him, and he comes right back and gets the great bucket.
Good job by the camera crew getting that eye shot for you. Jenkins, he threw up a knuckleball and knocked down a 3. 73-60 Indiana. This is Tapek. Johnson. Fans wanted him to fire it up. He was right in front of coach. He knew better.
He knew better than to put that one up.
A deflection ahead to Young. Young will beat the buzzer. It's academic. Gutty effort by Northwestern, but give Indiana the credit. They fell behind in the second half, but didn't panic. Mike Davis's club, thanks to its defensive effort, rallied to win here and beat Northwestern 73-62, and they knocked the Wildcats out of first place in the Big Ten. Northwestern now 2-2 in the conference, and Indiana now 2-1 in Big Ten play. So the Indiana Hoosiers do what they have to do today, and that's protect the home turf. They win 73-62. Of course, the state of Indiana now is hoping that Peyton Manning and company can follow suit tomorrow and get to the Super Bowl. Let's talk more hoops, though. Big Ten Studios, and here's Mike Gleason.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. 73-62.